Hello, hello! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Allee and I help ambitious women thrive in life and in business, which is a feat that is very possible, ladies. So let's dive into a subject that I get asked all the time in all of my programs, in my DMs, from my friends who are like, how do you get so many things done? And every single week, I wanna say, one, I have a really great team that gets a whole lot of credit, but then two, I realized that I had to master my schedule to get the things done that I wanted to get done because it just kept mastering me, you guys. Like I, for years, was just owned by time. I'm really transparent about this, but I actually have ADHD and I'm also dyslexic. So I have two different things that have allowed me to be massively creative and see the world in a different way. And one of the things that ADHD does is it creates time blindness. When I read about this, I was 26 years old and I remember being like, wow, that's why I am the way I am. But essentially, I very easily forget about time. Like I will just be jamming. It will feel like it was 2 minutes. It will be 4 hours later and I have no awareness of it. And the more women I'm able to coach, the more events I'm able to have, the more people I'm able to talk to about this, the more I realize a lot of us are time blind. When you have a lot of things to do and they all need to get done pretty quickly, it's easy to prioritize the things that maybe aren't a priority, or to get overwhelmed and shut down, or to spiral, or whatever it is your normal reaction is. I just want to say that's okay. Lots of people do it. But when you have a schedule and segments that are supporting your dreams long term and in the day-to-day, it makes it a lot easier to lose the time blindness and feel like you're getting like little hits of dopamine and like hope every time you finish something. And so I've made it a game with myself, one, and then two, I really set myself up for success with the process I'm gonna be taking you through today. So if you want to get really deep clarity when it comes to how to spend your time, and if you wanna be able to just show up as an ambitious woman in business with specific to-dos that let you check in and check out so you can actually live your life, then this video is 100% for you. So let's dive in. So there are 3 things you have to know, non-negotiables, as a woman in business who has, like I said, really big ambition, that are going to really be the true north of what you're going to be spending your time on day in and day out. So the first thing you have to know is your goals, right? You have to know what your goals are. You have to be able to understand what you're trying to go after. I think when we start a business, it's like, oh, I do this thing, so I just want to do more of that thing, when realistically, quarter by quarter, so the year is made of 4 quarters, right? So you have 90 days to get specific things done. And if you give yourself that actual like track to run on, you can get more done than you realize, but you can't like conquer the world in 90 days usually. So that being said, I really want you guys to be able to know, like, clarity on goals is 100% key. From there, you have to know your numbers. You have to know your numbers. This was actually my crux. I was really time blind and I was really money blind for a long time. Like lots of money would come into the business as I scaled it, and I didn't know where my money was going. I knew the jobs were getting done. I knew the quality was there. I knew everything looked really good, but I also knew that I was not operating in the excellence that I was actually able to operate in, because I was just in chaos all the time. And really getting down and dirty in the numbers and understanding what I was spending money on, what was bringing in money, what was bringing in the most and the least amount of money, and going from there really demystified everything that I was spending my time on and set me up for deep success. The third thing is you have to know your habits, you guys. Habits specifically are the one indication that I'm able to look at someone's life and then say like, hey, so with this habit, if you never change that habit, this is where you're gonna be when you're 60. We know how time works and we know how habits work. If you are already in the habit of doing something, you're probably extremely committed to it. So you have to be able to be real about your habits. You have to be really real about what you're doing, and then you're gonna have to be able to say, oh, well, if when I'm 60, this habit is creating this fruit and it's gonna be here, and that's not what I want, I'm probably gonna need to make some changes. Maybe the habit is good, but you need to pick up the pace. You gotta tell the truth to yourself, and you have to be really honest in the beginning about what you're actually doing, because again, an action becomes a habit, and then that habit really just builds out your life. All of those elements are extremely important when it comes to taking inventory of what you're doing today. Everything I'm going to be taking you through after this, I want you to take it, chew it, digest it, kind of see like, how would this actually feel in my life, and what's going to be the most productive option that I can actually operate with. This is the thing that I coach people who own 7 figures with and who don't have any revenue coming in their business yet, because realistically, the segments that I use so that you can create your schedule, they are true universally. They're going to be true today and true when you're 60. Get ready, grab a piece of paper, and let's dive into it. When it comes to creating your schedule, this is an exercise that I do that's called scheduling segments, you guys. And so I want you to just have a blank piece of paper, your note app up, whatever it is, and I want you to look at a calendar, okay? So you have a place to put notes down, and then you have a calendar that allows you to kind of see what is ahead of you, what you're spending your time on, all of that. If you look at how you're spending your day right now and you're like completely free, there's a reason. Does that mean that you need to, start and you're kind of in like a freeze zone right now? Think about that, right? If it's like very well balanced, amazing, then like, do you really value your time, and do you have really deep direction on where you're going? If it's completely booked and back to back to back to back to back to back to back, and you're totally exhausted, what's the reason for that, right? That might mean that you're people pleasing, or you don't value what your vision is. There are a lot of different things that can come up realistically. So if you look at your calendar now and the way that it is, I want you to be real with yourself about why that is. And then I want you to be open to changing your habits as we build the next segments to your future, okay? So we're gonna build this in a very specific way. The first thing that I want you to do is look at the next month of time ahead of you, okay? And I want you to first fill in when you can take rest in a sabbatical. So at least once a week, you need to have a space for rest, a space to like Sabbath and like pull back. And when I say sabbatical, I don't mean you have to like disappear from the earth for 6 weeks or 6 months or whatever that looks like. Sometimes you just need like a sabbatical in your bathtub for 3 hours and to get your eyebrows done and take a nap. Like that can change everything. But like, how are you resting? How are you Sabbathing? How are you taking like a sabbatical from your reality that needs to be in? And like I said, I want at least 3 hours and 1 day on the calendar where you can have you time. And if you have insane obligations that are gonna block you from that, how can you ask for help to make it happen? Because realistically, we do burn out no matter how well intended we are if we are not connecting and in touch with who we are and what we really need as humans first. So that's the first thing. Second, I want you to put in your personal time. Allie, why are you doing it this way? Why wouldn't I just put work in first and like my doctor's appointment and then what my kids need, and then then I can put in my personal, and then I'll put in my sabbatical? Well, because that's the way that everyone does it, and realistically, you usually come last. And where has that gotten you? So like your rest comes first, but then your second thing in this scheduling exercise is actually prioritizing you personally. Because if you do not prioritize your personal life, your ambition will drown you. It will seize all of the days, and it will tell you that you need to go harder and faster, and you will lose the essence of who you are. And I know that sounds really intense, but I'm telling you, it is a science, and I have seen it hundreds of times at this point. There are a lot of different parts of personal life, and I've segmented them out. So I just want you to go through and sit with me, go and put in your calendar each one of these, okay? Rules, at least 30 minutes for each of them. If it goes beyond that, great, I'm super proud of you, but just get on the calendar for every single week over the next 4 weeks, each of these elements. So the first one is fun and social. I want you to at least spend 30 minutes every single week doing something that's fun or social. And I don't know what's fun for you, you do though. And there have been seasons in business where I have put so much of myself into the business that I forgot what was fun. You don't know what your fun is right now? You can still find it, but you need to be intentional about it. So what can you do and what could you put on the calendar that's going to be social or fun? The next thing is career-based, okay? And this doesn't have to do with your actual business. I mean like career, like talking about you. This could be posting a personal update on LinkedIn, talking to a mentor that you really look up to, something that's actually going to like pour into the long-term vision of what you're trying to build, because believe it or not, businesses come and go. You are going to eventually probably exit the business that you have. You'll sell it, you'll close it, you'll expand it. There are a million different things, right? But you need to understand that your career is different than your business. Your career is longevity. Your business is for what's working right now and what's in demand. So what are you doing for your career? Put that in your calendar. Third, personal development. Read a book. Do something, listen to a podcast. I actually just came off of an 18-month period where I wasn't consuming anything from anyone. I was just so tired from my output that I realistically just like stopped listening to people because it was too much for me to conceptualize and it felt like a distraction. So I did different things, but a really easy way to lean into personal development is from learning from someone who has what you want. So look for someone like that and then absorb some kind of information weekly from them, as long as it feels aligned for where you're going. Spiritual. So what are you doing to nurse your soul? That is a personal preference, but if I do not go to church and I am not in my prayer time and I'm not, surrounding myself with people who are aligned with me, it's pretty easy for me to get lost. So know yourself, know your habits, and create ones that are going to support your spiritual side too. And then financial time. So put a money date on the calendar, 30 minutes. Look at your finances, personal and in business, so you know your numbers, because if you know your numbers, you're going to feel a lot more grounded on the action that you need to take. Physical, everyone talks about this on and on and on. Like, you got to work out, you need to do this, and healthy body, healthy life. Like, everyone has something to say about it, and it's all great. And I totally and completely agree. But every season is different. So if you're in a really busy season, go for a walk. Even while you're taking a call, go for a walk. But make sure you're putting time to move your body on the calendar and treat it like a business meeting with yourself. And then last, relational. You need relational time. So think about the people you want to spend time with. I personally love to spend time with my husband, so I want time to literally just be with him and build that up. But I love my friends. And I have different friends in different sectors of my life. So prioritizing time to catch up with those friends is really important with me. And if you do see people every single day, do you have intentional time with them so that you can feel relationally filled? Sometimes no. So make sure you're prioritizing that. And don't just go through the motions, because your people are really important for your mental health and for your well-being, and I think more than anything, your inspiration. So all of that to be said, I want you to look at your calendar and see from there what needs to go in for business. What needs to go in for any meetings. When are you checking in with your clients? When are you going to the bank to get anything taken care of? Write any of those things down next in the open spots that you have. It is really important to make sure that you personally, again, are taken care of and prioritized. So scheduling in these sequences allows for that to always take precedent. Business very easily fits in around your life, and I want to always make sure that you understand that you have started a business to live the life that you want. You are not living to scale your business. And if you don't agree with me in this season, there will come a season where you do agree. Just take it from me, learn it now. It makes it so much more scalable, and it makes it so much more exciting. I have built multiple six-figure businesses and beyond that now, and made over $1 million in my career. And it only is because I had to learn how to go long, not just fast. So make sure you understand that the longevity is where the breakthrough truly happens over and over. So lean into that with this. I hope that this blessed you. I hope you feel more clarity. I am excited to hear about your guys' schedules. If there's anything that you want me to create, any questions you want me to answer, anything you want clarification on, then go ahead and drop a comment below. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button, because we are bringing in some juicy additional topics to make sure that you are supported as you ambitiously build whatever it is that you feel God has called you to build. In the description box below, I have my podcast for you, which you are welcome to binge. I have a lot of amazing content there that is going to support you in your ambitious pursuits. I have also put a CEO dashboard for you. So if you want something that can kind of be the true north for what you're looking at day in and day out as a CEO, that also allows you to feel like you have space to have fun, that is grounded as you're scaling your business, this is gonna be an amazing free tool for you. So go ahead and click it and grab that. I believe with your schedule sorted and that to check in with daily, you're gonna be unstoppable. So thank you for being here, and I will catch you on the next video.